Hi, dear students. I welcome you to this chemistry laboratory of Department of Chemistry. We have several experiments for you in this laboratory, and these experiments are different than usual chemistry experiments. Different in the sense that these experiments are applied in nature. They have some purpose, industrial purpose. So the experiment which I am going to discuss with you today is determination of normality of given alkali solution by thermometric titration. Titration, all of you know, where we determine strength of a unknown solution by using standard solution. What we usually do there, we might have done it at first level. What we usually do there that we require one standard solution. Standard solution, all of you might be knowing, is a solution of known concentration. What else we require is an indicator. So when we mix the two solutions, we must know a bit of chemistry of the two solutions. So when we mix the two solutions, reaction starts occurring there, and then by changing color, that is, we are using indicator. By changing in color the solution, completion of the reaction is indicated. But then what happens if unknown solution is colored? So in such a case, we cannot use indicators. Then we have to use some other parameters of the reaction. So temperature is one such parameter. And then the titration which we know is thermometric titration. So this experiment which we are going to do today, that is experiment number 3 in your list of experiments provided by the convener. It has alkali solution and a acid solution, and then we perform this experiment. So acid and alkali, all of you know, are the water soluble bases. So what we do there, we have got unknown solution of alkali in the thermos flask. This is the thermos flask. This is the thermos flask. So we have got alkali solution inside this, and then this is a long, specially devised thermometer for your experiment. We put it like this. This is a cork. It is properly fitted so that there is no escape of temperature. Then what we do, we add 5 milliliters of standard solution of hydrochloric acid. Then we mix it properly. What will happen? When acid and alkali are there, we have got hydrogen ions and hydroxyl ions, and neutralization occurs. This neutralization is an exothermic reaction which is indicated by temperature rise in this thermometer. So we will note down temperature rise and then record it. This is what we do. So this experiment is very simple. We take 100 ml of given alkali solution in this thermos flask and note the initial temperature, and then add 5 milliliters of hydrochloric acid and then shake it well, and then note down the temperature rise. Then we add another 5 ml of hydrochloric acid, shake it further, note down temperature rise, and we go on adding hydrochloric acid in batches of 5 milliliters, and each time we go on recording the temperature rise. So what will happen? I would like to show you. This is observation table. This table is already provided to you in the leaflet which has been supplied by a convener of this experiment. So, if you look at this table, this has serial number, this has volume of acid added, this is in milliliters, this is temperature of mixture. Degree centigrade. So, this way we go on recording so many values. 1, 2, 3, 30, 31 values. And when we do this, when we get this data, we draw the graph. We draw the graph taking volume of HCl added on x-axis and temperature rise on y-axis. So, when we get this data in this tabular form, we plot it. We get this data like this. So, when we indicate the temperature points on the graph, we join them, we draw a freehand graph. We don't join the points. We draw the freehand graph and then note down a particular highest point which we record as equivalence point. This highest point is equivalence point. This highest point is not end point. This is equivalence point. There is a difference between equivalence point and end point, and that difference is that end point is indicated by changing color of the reaction mixture, whereas at equivalence point, ground equivalents of both the reactants are equal. So, then we make the calculation. We find out the volume corresponding to this equivalence point and do the calculation by S2 is equal to S1 given by V. This is V2. So, we do simple calculations which are already given in our instructions and then find out concentration of alkaline solution. Now, a few very important points. That it is not necessary that you get a point here. It is not necessary that you get a point here. This point you get by drawing the freehand graph. That is, drawing the graph in freehand, you get this point. Another thing which is very important as far as this experiment is concerned is that Several times you can have points like this. One point here for one particular volume, addition of volume, and then another point here. So how do you get the equivalence point? I told you that you have to join, you have not to join the points, you have to draw a freehand graph like this. So we get this point, highest point, like to come to this point, we will have to descend from somewhere. We will have to descend from somewhere. Then the highest point on the graph is taken as equivalence point. Now a few very important, interesting observations and questions which I would like to point out. That if you look at, this is equivalence point. This is equivalence point. On the left side of equivalence point, what will be composition of the solution? It would be NaOH plus NaCl plus H2O. This should be on the left side of the equivalence point. At equivalence point, you will have NaCl plus H2O. On the right side of the graph, right side of equivalence point, you will have NaCl plus H2O plus H. Now, after equivalence point, there is no chemical reaction in the solution because neutralization has been completed. There is no excess of hydroxyl ions. So, HCl remains like HCl. And it starts coming down. Graph starts come down because you are adding hydrochloric acid which is at room temperature, which is at a lower temperature as compared with the temperature inside the thermos flask. So if I ask a question, what will happen if you start adding another solution of same temperature other than hydrochloric acid? No chemical with that liquid has to be indifferent, should not react with the reaction mixture. So what will happen? I think you can make it out. That nature of the graph on the other side of equivalence point will change. It will either go away from the mean position or it will come closer to the mean position. And that will depend on various physical characteristics, say molecular weight or viscosity or other parameters of the liquid which you are adding other than hydrochloric acid. Now, advantages and disadvantages, merits and demerits of this experiment. I talk of merits first. Merits are that you can analyze even color solution by using this experiment. Because if the solution is colored, that is, no solution is colored, see all the effluents which you encounter in industry are not colorless, they have some color. So you cannot use endpoint method. So you have to rely on any method, one of those methods in this. So this is one merit or advantage of this experiment, that we can analyze colored solution. Another advantage is that we have values for a particular, we have got a value for a particular point for which we have not conducted the experiment. Like this equivalence point, it is not necessary that we all the time get a point there. So these are advantages. And if I talk of disadvantages, I should not say disadvantages, demerits. Demerits are that we are adding hydrochloric acid in batch of 5 milliliter. So we do not know what is really happening between 0 ml to 5 milliliters. So this we do not know. And then each time we are opening the thermos flask, so there can be a loss of temperature. So this is a demerit. But then we have to live with this, because you have all the time you can make arrangements that without opening the thermos flask, if you can inject the hydrochloric acid, we can get rid of this particular temperature escape from the solution. Another clarification I would like to tell you, or rather I would like to ask you a question, that which is more accurate? Is it endpoint which is accurate, or is it equivalence point which is more accurate? So endpoint is more accurate, because in case of endpoint method, we have got a control of 0.1 milliliter of the volume. If the least count of pipette which you are using or burette through which you are releasing liquid is 0.1 ml. So we have got a control of 0.1 milliliters in case of endpoint method, whereas in case of equivalence point, we are adding liquid, the reactant in this case hydrochloric acid, in a 5 milliliters batch. So we do not have a control. No. So endpoint method is more accurate. But then we cannot replace, in this particular case, we cannot replace this thermometric titration with usual endpoint method titration. So this is all about this experiment, and then I'm very sure that you have understood. And if you got any query, you can talk to your teacher. You can ask questions to your teacher, and they will respond to this. So thank you very much.